Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So Chris Paul is making his return after missing about 15 games for the Phoenix Suns tonight. Well, Phoenix is on a nice little win streak, and Mr. Cam Payne was definitely ready for the opportunity in the last couple of weeks. So Phoenix still pretty comfortably the 1 seed. They're going to finish as the 1 seed in the Western Conference. They're 59-14. They're 59-14. This team will probably at the most end with 18 wins or 18 losses. They'll probably at the most end with 18 losses. This is a 60-win team, 100%. But no one's talking about the Phoenix Suns, and it actually doesn't really make much sense. They have the third best offense. They have the third best defense, and net rating, they're number one. If you look at defensive stats, they're pretty much easily top 10 in just about everything. Most of the stuff, they're also top 5 in. I mean, they've got it all. Then you go out and you make big-time additions. First off, love bringing Torrey Craig back. Absolutely love that. And then JaVale McGee this season, what a sign that was. Last year, so it's crazy, dude. Phoenix was literally in the finals last year. It hasn't even been a full year, and Phoenix was in the NBA Finals. I've seen some Suns fans come out and say that with the additions, specifically on the defensive end, guys like JaVale McGee, Bismack, Torrey, I've heard people say this is better than the Barkley team and the Steve Nash team. This, I think, honestly, if they win a championship right now, it would be undisputed. This is the best Phoenix Suns team of all time. I mean, they really are perfect. They really are perfect. And so we're going to talk about them a little bit today. If you guys enjoy it, hit the like button, hit that sub button. Suns fans, I feel like no one makes Suns videos. I really don't understand it. It makes actually zero sense. Phoenix isn't even I guess it is a little bit on the smaller side, but it's not that small of a market. I mean, Phoenix sports are dope. Phoenix sports are dope. So hit that like button. Let's try and get 100 likes on today's video. That would be absolutely awesome. Drop a comment down below. Where do you see the Phoenix Suns finishing this season? And I would imagine if this hits Phoenix Suns fans, I'm hoping to see a lot of finals wins comments. As always, hit that subscribe button, man. I will post more Suns content. I'll post daily Suns video if this video does well, man. Mikal Bridges, I think, Depoy. I mean, actually though, Mikal Bridges, Depoy. He is probably my most intriguing player on the Phoenix Suns. So let's just take let's take a step back. They have the best starting five in the NBA. I fully believe that. They have the best starting five, fully healthy, of Chris Paul, point guard, Devin Booker, who's going to give it 25 at least. It's below his season average of 26. You got Mikal Bridges at the 3, and then you have Jay Crowder, perfect stretch for a guy who can defend pretty much anybody. And then you have DeAndre Ayton, who defensively awesome, offensively awesome, but we'll talk a little bit more about DeAndre Ayton later on in this video. This guy's averaging 17 and 10, a couple blocks per game as well. I mean, I saw Alex Hoops tweet about this today. People sleep, and I don't even know if the word sleep. I think people just aren't aware of DeAndre Ayton's shooting potential. I really don't think they are. I mean, this is a 35.3% three-point shooter for a 7-foot center. That's really solid. And he's a big body. It's not he's like a Chet Holmgren or like an Evan Mobley where you're just kind of built like a twig. He's big. He's a big body. He's got some meat on those bones. So we'll talk about DeAndre Ayton a little later, but I saw Alex Hoop tweet about that mid-range, and it's I think it's actually people just aren't even aware that he has a mid-range. I don't even know if people know he can shoot the 3, as crazy as it seems. And then you have the bench, dude. The bench is just stacked. Cam Payne. I live here in Chicago. I'm a big Bulls fan. And I didn't have a great campaign with Cam Payne, but ever since he's gotten to Phoenix, man, this guy's been a stud. This guy has been an absolute stud. He tries so hard as well. You got to love him. Cam Johnson, steal the draft a couple of years ago. Actually, I think he might have been. If we're talking actual steals, I think Cam Johnson might have been the steal of his draft class just a couple of years ago. I mean, this is a 45% three-point shooter. He's still out right now. What did he drop? 39 the day before he got injured. Cam Johnson has a really bright future in the NBA. I mean, this guy attacks like he isn't just a three-point specialist as well. He'll attack the rim, he'll get downhill, and he can also defend. So Cam Johnson, I mean, they got a gem in him. Moving on down the line, I mean, I like a guy like Torrey Craig. not necessarily as much of a three-point shooter. Keep in mind, though, neither Milwaukee or Phoenix last year, as far as like three-point percentages go, it's not like either of those teams were necessarily, or I guess that was more on Milwaukee. Milwaukee wasn't like an elite three-point shooting team by any means. So you don't need every player on your roster to be like a plus 35% three-point shooter. Maybe if you're playing the Golden State Warriors in 2015, maybe that's a better route. But the NBA is changing. It's changing every year, actually. Landry Shamet, he's solid. 38% three-point shooter, definitely solid. I know he's got a fat little baggie. I don't know. I would love to actually hear what Suns fans think of Landry Shamet down below in the comment section. But he's definitely a good player for him. He's played 60 or so games for him. Like I said, 35 or 38% three-point shooter. He can handle the ball as well. But here are the two guys that I've been really thoroughly impressed with. JaVale McGee, and I think Rusty Buckets tweeted this out a couple of weeks ago, actually. I think Rusty tweeted that JaVale McGee is like quietly having one of the best backup center seasons of all time. If you look at JaVale's stats here, we're looking at 15.6 minutes per game, all right? He's shooting 64% from the field, 9.4 points, 6.6 rebounds, and over a block a game in 15 minutes. He is averaging 10, almost 7 and 1. I mean, that is unbelievable. That was definitely, in my opinion, probably the biggest thing holding Phoenix back last year. And there's no shade at all to Frank Kaminsky. Who was the other? Dario Saric, was it? No disrespect to either of those two guys, but they're a little bit more like, if anything, mid-range specialists. You know, a little bit more of floor spacers, pretty much. They're not like big body, I guess they are technically, but they're not like JaVale McGee, like where you're afraid to attack the rim if JaVale McGee's standing right under there with his arms up. If it's Frank Kaminsky or JaVale McGee, I think every single person would rather go at Frank Kaminsky. Bismack and JaVale have been absolutely critical to this roster. And even if DeAndre Ayton, when DeAndre Ayton was missing a little bit of time, both of those two players stepped up so much. That's been the coolest part, I think, with Phoenix this year, which is getting me thinking, damn, this team might actually win it this year, because when they lose a player, Devin Booker a couple weeks ago, Cam Johnson stepped the F up, and then unfortunately got hurt like pretty much kind of around the same time. Chris Paul gets injured. Cam Payne steps the F up. DeAndre Ayton gets injured. Bismack and JaVale step up. Now, what does suck for Phoenix is they had to get rid of Jalen Smith at the deadline this year, but they still have a super, super bright core. I mean, keep in mind, guys like Devin Booker aren't even that old. DeAndre Ayton, super young. Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, like these are really talented young basketball players, and most of them have been in the league for a handful of seasons where it's not like, oh shoot, like we've got this rookie on this team, like I don't know, is he going to be able to show up in the playoffs? Is he going to be able to show up when it matters? Phoenix doesn't have that issue. They were there last year. All these guys have gotten an extra year, not only playing together, but also just maturity and improving their own individual games. So, I mean, if I had to bet money right now on a basketball team to win it, I would 100% go Phoenix. 100% go Phoenix. So that's it for today, man. If you enjoyed it, you want more Suns content, be sure to hit that like button, drop a sub, hit that comment section. Great for the algorithm. Let's try and hit 100 likes. But once again, comment down below. Where do you see the Phoenix Suns finishing the season?